podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Hylan. My companions and I have just learned that to save the stolen city of Elturel and its people, we may need to descend into Avernus, the first layer of hell. In the great library of Candlekeep, we need to arm ourselves with knowledge that might help us survive.
You traverse down to the foot of the stairs. Irony is sitting at the foot of them. He hears you coming down and stands quickly as you approach. Hi, everything go okay?
We got the information we needed, so thank you, Irony.
No problem. I'm just here to show you around and make sure you guys don't get into trouble or something. So, it's cool.
We appreciate that, Irony, and we really do need your help, actually. We're looking for information on a few very specific topics. Avernus, Zariel, and Elturel, and the Hell Riders.
Well, all those are probably let me think. Yeah, they would be in the Fiends section in the main library.
Well, then I suppose you should take us to the Fiend section of the main library.
Although Elturel, now that I think about it, he sort of pushes his glasses up into his nose and he says, Elturel is if maybe it's in the geography section, you could take a look at them all.
No, we don't want geography. Take us to the Fiend section, and if there's a restricted section, I want to look there.
Oh, wow. You guys have access to the restricted section?
I do. I've been studying Church of Ilmalta for the last 10 years, so I can get in, yep.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Can I assist?
Sure. Are you trained in persuasion?
I am trained in persuasion, yes.
Okay, so I rolled a 7 and a 2. So the 7.
Oh, no.
Gosh, I cannot roll tonight.
Well, the restricted section is really meant for the keepers of the tomes. They're not really meant for... Well, I guess you're kind of you're a cleric, you're a priest. I get it, but...
Right. I've been cloistered. They put me in a little room and I had to read books for the last 10 years, and this is the privilege I get now for, reading them. So I really need to get in there.
Ophelia turns to Irony. She kind of stoops down so she's looking directly into his eyes and really just trying to stare into his soul. And she says, "You're letting us into the restricted section of the library could be a matter of life or death." And her eyes get wide.
As does Irony's. It's almost like your hair starts to defy gravity, it starts to float behind you a little bit. Irony looks at you and your eyes meet his. You are probably no further away than about 4 or 5 inches from Irony, and he's not breathing. He's just looking at you directly in the eyes, not blinking. Go ahead and make your persuasion check, or intimidation, up to you.
I'm gonna make a persuasion.
Your Malta would like to give you a blessing, and you have that guidance.
Okay. 20, non-natural.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ooh. I think Irony begins to breathe again, and he says, I guess, no one really goes around there a whole lot at this time of day. I guess I could sort of sneak in. It's just be fine. It's be fine. Yeah, it's be fine.
It'll be fine. I knew you'd help us.
I am shocked. I've never seen Ophelia do this, and it's impressive.
Ophelia sort of, after she does this as they're walking, she looks a little bit shaken by the experience. She's sort of not really looking at anybody. She's looking past everybody and perhaps almost a bit sheepish.
Ophelia, I saw what you did there. It was impressive.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm glad I could get us what we wanted, and
it helps. It's good.
Thank you.
Irony has already walked about 30 or 40 feet away from you towards a section of the library.
So we follow.
As you do so, Philaster stops and says, I've been kind of waiting for a break in the quite intense emotional action here to let you all know that, well, I'm done. I did what I needed to do. I had a lot of fun would do again. Haha. Yes.
Would you recommend us to a friend as an adventuring party?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But I wanted to say, listen, it's not every day I get to hang out with people as cool as the four of you. Well, five. Sorry, Reya. Didn't mean to leave you out. Reya just nods. So, anyway, no matter where you go, just have one on me.
Blaster, would you stay with us long enough? Just help us do some research.
I'm not really into the whole research thing, I just want to let you know I'm not very good with the books. You guys are all must learn about the hells, must learn about the. I'm really more sort of spying and stabbing people in the face when they're not looking. That kind of thing.
You do that very well.
Yeah. Thank you for your help in the villa.
I thank you very much. Yes.
Yes, we appreciate all that you've done for us and with us on our travels.
Absolutely. And if you see me, don't be a stranger. I'm usually hanging out in the Hearth, so if you want to grab a drink, I'll be there.
Will you make us a dinner like your brother did again?
Oh, I am not a culinary wizard like he is. I must say, it's he is the chef's kiss, But I'll do my best. Goodbye to you all.
Goodbye, Philaster.
And he turns and walks out through the main door to the courtyard. Irony calls, "You guys coming or what?"
We follow.
You move to a section of the library which has books that are not able to actually be removed from their bookcases. They're chained to small metal notches on the bookcases themselves. But there are small desks, pulpits, maybe even, that you could either stand or sit to research any information given from these books.
But they're chained to the bookshelves?
They are indeed.
Let's start looking, right?
Okay, yeah, I just looking for, Zariel, Avernus, Hellriders, Elturel.
Absolutely. I'd like all of you to make history checks, please. Let's see who gets the good stuff.
I will give myself guidance on this.
Ofelia got a 13.
Oh!
What happened?
Hylan got a nat 1.
They're books, Hylan.
I'm very... I'm emotional. I don't know.
Innocence with guidance got a 14.
Okay.
And Corbin is not going to look for that. He is instead going to look for any books on soul coins and or a devil named Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can't find anything right away, then he'll look for a Zariel.
Okay. I would say you could make a history check as well.
And he will give himself guidance. Corbin rolled a 24.
Okay.
Ooh-wee.
Holy moly. All right.
Great.
I'm going to go from lowest to the highest because I think it's important to save the best for last. Hylan, I'm going to skip you for now, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
A nat 1 really doesn't give you very much. Books.
No, I mean, I might as well be like Slobber Chops at this point.
Where is Slobber Chops, by the way? She flew up. You never saw her again. What happened?
She got stuck on the ceiling like a balloon.
No, she's
just
on his responsibility now. He's I hope he's doing a good job.
You look over. Irony is sitting at a table, sort of looking in the air, waiting for Slobber Chops to descend. Who knows where she is? Maybe she's in the rafter somewhere. But yeah, he's patiently waiting for you guys to finish whatever research that you want to do, and of course, assisting you with book over there, section over there, etc. So you are all sort of separated within this mini section of the library. There is no one else here. You find a book, Ofelia, called The Comprehensive Thesis on the Nature of the Infernal, Librum 18, Folio 4. Nearby, I would say, Renascence and Corbin find other books of the same or similar nature. Comprehensive Theses, Nature of the Infernal, information about the material that they are researching. So I'm going to show you the cover because it's cool as hell.
It is cool as hell. Ooh. It is a intricate looking cover. It has what at first just looks like a sort of a decorative squiggly pattern, but what I'm pretty sure are snakes all around the border. And then there's a couple little winged devil looking creatures.
Yeah, you're pretty sure those are imps.
Decorating it. I mean imps.
Yeah, it looks like an illuminated manuscript.
It does. It looks quite fascinating, and I'm excited to crack it open and see what it says.
Okay. You leaf through the book for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. There's a lot of introduction and forward text from whoever wrote this, and your sort of eyes strain for a little bit of time. But then you come to a page about devils. Devils themselves are quite interesting, and I'm going to share this page with you, which is almost just as cool as the illuminated manuscript cover, but maybe even more foreboding, as it shows the head and torso of some kind of insidious evil creature that almost flies off the page at you.
Ooh, creepy. Devils personify tyranny, with a totalitarian society dedicated to the domination of mortal life. The shadow of the 9 hells of Beator extends far across the multiverse, and Asmodeus, the Dark Lord of Nessus, strives to subjugate the cosmos to satisfy his thirst for power. To do so, he must continually expand his infernal armies, sending his servants to the mortal realm to corrupt the souls from which new devils are spawned.
That basically gives you the idea of what devils are all about.
Right. And why it might have been that they wanted all the Hell Riders' souls.
Exactly. Not to mention pretty much everybody in Elturel, right?
Yeah.
If Elturel went to the 9 hells, all of those souls, upon their demise, would feed into the Blood War.
Yeah.
The eternal conflict between devils and demons, and give a distinct advantage to the devils.
Lords of tyranny. Devils live to conquer, enslave, and oppress. They take perverse delight in exercising authority over the weak, and any creature that defies the authority of a devil faces swift and cruel punishment. Every interaction is an opportunity for a devil to display its power, and all devils have a keen understanding of how to use and abuse their power. Devils understand the failings that plague intelligent mortals, and they use that knowledge to lead mortals into temptation and darkness, turning creatures into slaves to their own corruption. Devils on the material plane use their influence to manipulate humanoid rulers, whispering evil thoughts, fomenting paranoia, and eventually driving them to tyrannical actions.
Let's move to what it is that Renascence finds in his interaction and research.
Obedience and ambition. In accordance with their lawful alignment, devils obey even when they envy or dislike their superiors, knowing that their obedience will be rewarded. The hierarchy of the 9 hells depends on this unswerving loyalty, without which that fiendish plane would become as anarchic as the abyss. At the same time, it is in the nature of devils to scheme, creating in some a desire to rule that eclipses their contentment to be ruled. This singular ambition is strongest among the archdevils whom Asmodeus appoints to rule the 9 layers of the 9 hells. These high-ranking fiends are the only devils to ever sample true power, which they crave like the sweetest ambrosia. The Blood War. Throughout history, the teeming hordes of the Abyss and the strictly regimented legions of the 9 hells have battled for supremacy in the cosmos. In the mortal world, a scant few scholars, arcanists, and adventurers who know the conflict for what it is refer to it as the Blood War. Fighting takes place across the lower planes, on the material plane, and anywhere else that demons and devils might congregate from time to time. Demons spill out of the abyss to invade Avernus, the uppermost layer of the 9 hells. While the devils defend their home turf, they also make strikes against locations in the abyss. Although the intensity of the conflict waxes and wanes, and the front lines of the war can shift drastically, a moment never goes by when demons and devils aren't battling each other somewhere in the multiverse.
And next to this page, Renascence, you see an illustration of cross-sections of landscapes, but they're stacked one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. And you realize, after seeing the names associated with them, that this is a depiction, an illustration of all of the 9 hells, from top to bottom. Corbin, you On this page, about soul coins and dark deals.
All right, Corbin, pay attention. Don't fall asleep. I know this is your favorite place to sleep. Pay attention, read. All right. Dark dealers and soulmongers. Devils are confined to the lower planes, but they can travel beyond those planes by way of portals or powerful summoning magic. They love to strike bargains with mortals. Pff, yeah, know that one. Seeking to gain some benefit or prize. But a mortal making such a bargain must be wary. Devils are crafty negotiators and positively ruthless at enforcing the terms of an agreement. Yeah, we'll see about that. Moreover, a contract with even the lowliest devil is enforced by Asmodeus's will. Any mortal creature that breaks such a contract instantly forfeits its soul, which is spirited away to the 9 hells.
This illustration that you see on this page, Corbin, is that very familiar visage of the creature that is depicted on the piece of bark that Hylan has shown to you. A somewhat canine face with enormous curled horns branching out at the top of its head.
Corbin turns the page and he looks at the framing of it and thinks it looks like intestines winding around like a cemetery fence.
All right, keep going, Corbin. You can do it. Here we go. To own a creature's soul is to have absolute control over that creature, and most devils accept no other currency in exchange for the fiendish power and boons they provide. A soul is usually forfeited when a mortal dies naturally, for devils are immortal and can wait years for a contract to play out. If a contract allows a devil to claim a mortal soul before its death, it can instantly return to the 9 hells with the soul in its possession. Only divine intervention can release a soul after a devil has claimed it. At the bottom of the page is one ugly creature with huge horns. Looks like the one on Hylan's piece of bark that I think she got from a tree, which is weird. I don't know why she got it from a tree, but she did. And this doesn't bode well.
Your heart sinks as you read all of this, but you're able to glean that the contract, the deal that you've made with this entity, Cassandra, will not be easily broken. And even if it were to be broken, your own soul would be forfeit. In your research, however, you are able to find certain things and not able to find other things. Not able to find any reference to an entity named Cassandra, demonic, devilish, or otherwise. You are, however, able to find out information about soul coins. Soul coins are actually made from a special type of iron called infernal iron. And both sides of these coins usually have infernal script etched onto its surface, just like the one that you have. Soul coins are infused with the soul of a single creature. That soul, once it's inside that coin, is tormented and filled with despair. And as a result, any creature that is non-evil is only able to carry a few coins at a time, else the effect of that coin would be quite disastrous upon them. Creatures of evil, however, are able to carry as many as they want. Creatures in possessions of soul coins can actually use the innate powers of said coin. Coins have been known to drain the life of a specific kind of creature, usually designated by the creator of that coin. It is, according to your research, since you did so well in your history, possible to release a soul within a soul coin. It's usually achieved by casting any number of anti-curse spells, such as Remove Curse. But once a soul is freed, the coin will begin to rust and will eventually just fall apart. If the soul of the creature within the coin was good, they're usually transported to the realm of their deity, as they no longer have a mortal form to inhabit. If the soul, however, was from an evil creature, well, they're going to be transported to the river Styx and transformed into the lowliest form of devil, a lemur. That's what you find out about soul coins. Finally, we turn to Reya and to our Nat 1 of the evening, Hylan.
Hey.
Reya comes back after reading a couple of pages and she says, guys, I think I found something kind of interesting here. And she presents a page to you, Hylan. And this one is called Sailing the Styx. Mm. And she says, I'm not really good with this kind of stuff. Would you mind reading it to all of us?
Sure.
Oh, great. Here. And she passes the book to you. Open to that page.
Sailing the Styx. The blood war rages along the length of the river Styx. Direct confrontations between demons and devils erupt along its banks, making any of the lower planes the Styx touches a potential battleground. The river Styx frustrates every attempt to map it or predict its course. Although anyone can try to navigate it, only Merenoloth, the Yugoloth ferryman of the Styx, can faultlessly negotiate the Styx's treacherous waters. For a price, Menoloths will carry anyone safely and swiftly across planar boundaries. The greater the distance and the more perilous the passengers to be ferried, the higher the price.
And she then passes one more book to you and says, I don't know what these are, but if we're gonna find devilish ferrymen, these kind of look like them. And she passes this for you to read as well, which showcases a horrifying depiction of a cloaked figure with a pole of some kind out in front of an awful shadow-looking boat. But the pole is on fire and is issuing forth smoke.
Getting lost while sailing the Styx isn't the only danger the river presents. Merely tasting or touching its waters causes most creatures to become stupefied, and drinking fully or being immersed for too long can render that condition permanent, robbing a creature of all its memories. Fiends don't fear being momentarily exposed to the Styx, but with the notable exception of Hydroloths, Merenoloths, and Amnesus, even they can't retain their memories if they drink from the river Styx or swim for too long in its waters.
Then there is a quote from Zariel herself.
My legions are the only thing standing between your precious 7 heavens and the bottomless hunger of the abyss. I did not fall into the clutches of evil. I rose to shoulder a cosmic burden. Zariel, Archduchess of Avernus, former Angel of Celestia.
All of you shiver. There's also a word on this page.
Ba'atuz.
As you say Ba'atuz, a popping sound is heard, and a scent of brimstone invades the room. And before you see a tiny little flapping creature with reddish skin, and he carries an ebony cane, and he wears a finely tailored vest and has a little top hat on his head.
Oh.
Hi, everybody. It's Andy. The show will be back in just a minute for the second half. As always, we're offering monthly free online adventures with our Dungeon Masters. These free games fill up quickly, so if you'd like to grab a spot, you should join our email list or our Discord server. Links to both can be found at cast-party.com. Hey, do you want to accidentally summon an imp in the library like Hylan did in this episode? Well, our professional Dungeon Masters are available to hire for online games. Wait, we teach people how to summon imps? Okay. Check us out at cast-party.com and follow us on Facebook at castpartydnd
or Twitter at castparty2, or Instagram at cast_party. If you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. Message us on social media or email us at info@cast-party.com. Thanks very much for listening, and now back to our adventure in Candlekeep.
Whimsical, but probably still evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do see a small knife pokes out from one of his vest pockets.
Oh boy. That's his little knife to get the snails out of the shells in his escargot.
Horse.
I thought Philoster said this sort of thing wouldn't happen in here.
Well, we are in a special sort of section of the library.
The creature turns to you all. Reya takes her sword and brings it halfway out of her sheath, but then realizes the rules of Candlekeep and puts it back in. And the creature sort of flaps up instinctively a foot or two and then says, "Ah! Huzzah, heroes! You have accomplished much in your short amount of time. Hey, listen, my boss has taken notice of your ambition and is a complete and total fangirl of what you do and how you go about doing it."
Clumsily just reading names.
Who is your boss?
No, my boss? Well, I can't really talk to you very much about her, but, she knows of your future plans and would love to assist you. She feels that you have much in common.
Is this thing an imp?
It looks like an imp. That is correct. It's got a little underbite, tiny little non-vestigial wings, obviously because it's keeping itself aloft, but it's the first imp that you've seen wearing clothes. He says to you, Renascence, he says, "Well, if you really want to know, the person who happens to be my particular master is someone who you would want to be allied with, I assure you. Her name, however, must not be spoken until the deal is struck." And he smiles, and he's got tiny little sharp teeth.
No one's striking a deal with you.
Now, wait a second. Holds up his hands. Listen, at least hear me out before you say no.
Talk, imp.
He rubs his little hands together and says, all right, here we go. Now listen. In 30 minutes, someone in Candlekeep is gonna try to make an attempt to, and he puts his little clawed finger to his neck and draws his finger across it and says, take someone out. It's this ogre named Little One. He's over in that inn across the way in Candlekeep, the Hearth. All you have to do is do nothing. Just allow the ogre to be murdered. And anyway, it's an ogre. Ogres stink.
Why would we ever do that? Or not do that?
Well, in exchange, you will be granted a boon from my master.
What does your master care about this ogre?
Oh, no, my master doesn't give a shit about the ogre, but it's an evil act. And my master loves evil acts.
So if I say your name backwards, do you go away, or how does this work?
No. You got to put it on a record and play it backwards. That's not the way it works with us.
Oh, I could make him go away one little smack.
Hey, if you do that, be my guest. I'm fine with it.
We can't violate the rules of Candlekeep.
Who's going to know?
He snaps his fingers. He's like, come on. I'm right here. Go for it. Hit me.
Does this actually work? Like, do you offer people the fabulous reward of, being evil, and then they go do evil acts?
Yeah, it's kind of a quid pro quo thing we got going on.
Well, wrong room.
Oh, all right. Do I have that same response from all of you? I should say all but one of you.
What does that mean?
I can't take offers from that guy. And he points his finger at Corbin.
Why not?
Because he's kind of already taken.
What?
What do you mean?
I can't really talk very much more about it, but he's a no-go when it comes to deals.
Yeah, Ilmota does that sort of thing.
Sure.
Insight check.
Talk about me again, imp, and I'll kill you right here now. I don't care if I get kicked out of Candlekeep. I don't
Easy,
care.
Corbin.
I'd like to insight check Corbin.
Go for it.
13.
And what's my...
I would say holding something back is just as good as either deception or performance. It's your choice.
They're both -1, so I will take deception.
10?
10 is not enough. Renascence, something's going on with Corbin.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything now, but I just note it. Yeah, we're not buying what you're selling.
All right. Listen, all I got is what I got. If any one of you wants to go for it, I'm more than happy to take it up.
Reya, I know what your answer is, but apparently you need to give one.
I would never deal with a creature like that.
Right.
I think I should burn it.
I don't think
Hey,
you
listen.
should touch it,
It will
Corbin.
just go back to the hells.
Well,
if
hold
you do
on.
that.
In a very sort of used car salesman kind of way, he puts his hands up and he says, now listen, I know you don't trust me. I get it. At least allow me to tell you what you get if you do it, which is nothing. All you gotta do is do nothing. It's great, right? Listen, here's what you get. My master will give you a fantastic charm. From what I understand, my people know people who have seen people. And, you're intent on coming down to my neighborhood. Well, you do nothing, and my master will grant you a boon called a charm of lesser conscription. You can activate this magical charm to summon one of my brothers. What do you call them? You call them the barbed devil? Or you can make 2 bearded devils, do your will? Or 3 of my little sisters, 3 spine devils. And they'll all obey your commands for 9 days. Or until they die.
Yeah,
That make your mouth water a little bit more?
not really.
Would anyone like a drink? I'm buying at the Hearth, and I've got to go warn an ogre that someone's trying to kill him.
Yeah, sounds great.
I strangle this imp. Well,
no,
let's do that.
Corbin.
No,
Sorry,
no.
Corbin.
it's all right. Come get a drink with us.
The imp looks at you. He puts his hands up. He's like, come at me, bro. I can take you.
It's not worth it. It's goading you. It's not worth it.
Well, I regret that I couldn't assist you. And I assure you, if you're all intent on rejecting my master's offer, that it won't. And he says this with a hint of seriousness in his voice. I assure you, rejecting my offer won't change the outcome of events to come.
And I regret the 5 minutes I've spent listening to you. Come on. I just start walking out.
As you walk out, he looks over at Reya and he says, hey, Mantlemorn, be careful who you make enemies of. And then he disappears in a puff of acrid-smelling smoke. With your research complete, you leave the library. Irony is just shocked by what he's heard. His eyes are sort of welling with tears from
You heard
fear.
that?
Oh, yeah, he was there.
Oh, buddy, that's right, he was.
Yeah.
Aw.
Irony's just like, he wasn't even addressed. Like, he's not part of the adventuring group. So, you know, yeah, Baatus didn't even consider him worthy of having the offer sent.
I feel like that's fine.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
he also isn't going to Avernus probably.
Excellent. No,
So
no way.
Important mission for you, Irony.
Yeah, yes.
Looks like we've got a little bit of an imp incursion problem in the restricted area. Would you agree?
I mean, not anymore. He's kind of gone.
Yeah, but it seems like he's coming and going as he pleases.
Yeah,
and
you
he
better
hasn't.
cross that out.
Well, it only happened when she said his name.
Yeah, well, he got into Candlekeep without giving you a book, right? So I think you should probably go and tell your bosses about it.
Oh, that's a good idea. That book is really messed up. Whoa.
Is it against the rules to cross something out? Because I think leaving that name to just be read by an idiot such as myself is a bad idea.
I mean, I think that's pretty much against the rules because you can't like deface or destroy any other property.
Well,
But
you
I mean,
tell your boss that this book is capable of conjuring an imp into the center of Candlekeep, right?
oh, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's
couldn't
probably.
we leave a note?
A little sticky note. Do
Putting
not
a-
open.
Yep, I'm just putting a bookmark in here. Don't read this bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taking
Draw an
a
arrow.
piece of parchment
Yep.
and I write, do not read the name on the side of this page aloud. And I put it as a bookmark in the book.
Ophelia, that would make me want to
That's
read
true.
it.
Maybe more
Oh.
details. More
Saying.
details like, or an imp will come and try to take your soul.
I would be intrigued.
What if someone evil does want to make the steal? This is, perhaps we shouldn't mess with it because more information might be worse than less. I don't know.
I think we've told Irony, they're sort of in charge of the library. They now know that they've got a fiendish book, and I'd say it's on them. We've done their part. If anything, we should sue them, frankly, for exposing us to a fiendish book.
Oh, we weren't supposed to be in
we
here.
were in the restricted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, we're in the
Fair enough, so
restricted.
that's-
I don't think we have
area.
a legal case here.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. But anyway, Irony, they've got to know because this is dangerous.
Okay, I guess I could tell the keepers about it. That should do it.
Yeah.
How about tell them tomorrow? Not today. Today, go to the bar with us.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm only.
Come on, Irony, we've got a murder to prevent.
Okay, well, I can't drink anything because I'm only 15 years old. And I'm like, okay, I'll go with you to the Hearth. It's kind of a cool place.
Don't need you alert.
We'll get you a Shirley Temple.
Oh my God.
Yeah. God.
What's a Shirley Temple?
Oh, Irony.
Oh, it's delicious.
Are you in for a treat?
Blech.
So good.
Yeah, you guys leave the main library of Candlekeep. It's coming on late afternoon, so the sun is slowly beginning to set in the west, which casts this reddish shadow over the entire keep. But you do see that the Hearth, the inn, is not too far from where you have left the Emerald's Gate.
We're making a beeline for the Hearth.
Fantastic. You see people coming and going in and out of the pub or inn, what have you. They don't seem to be rough and tumble types. These are, after all, monks for the most part, or sages, or researchers. But it's a good place to get food and drink and hopefully relieve the stress of the day. And you do see that there are guests coming and going to this particular place. The pub has a low ceiling supported by massive wooden crossbeams and narrow shuttered windows. In the middle of the hearth, a large fire pit is surrounded by half a dozen tables and matching benches. There is one patron, however, who stands out from the rest. A rather sizable ogre sitting by himself in a corner of this room, reading a book. You see he's wearing some kind of crown or tiara or some kind of strange headband thing on his head. And he's wearing a pair of pince-nez glasses on his nose. For an ogre, although none of you have ever seen one in the flesh, this is a very strange thing.
I march right up to him.
His face is buried behind a book. You see that the title of the book is called The Sum of Theology by Saint Vithira.
I just want to, on record, I love him. So precious.
Yep.
It makes me so happy. Defying, stereotypes. I love it. I'm just saying.
I say, form a cordon around him. Excuse me, sir, are you Mr. I've written it down. Are you Mr. Little One?
He puts the book slowly down, and you see that the ogre has a very prominent chin, whiskers around his face, and his nose is flat and bulbous. And his eyes are a cool green, looks up at you, takes the glasses, puts them a little bit further back on his nose, and says, yes, I am.
I'm very sorry to disturb you, but we believe you may be in danger.
In danger? I'm sorry. Who are you?
Sorry. Renascence. Baldur's Gate, these are my friends. I would like to, unless he prevents me from doing so, basically tell him what just happened.
Okay. And he looks between all of you and says, did you say an imp, a fiend, here in Candlekeep?
I know. Irony, you're going to deal with that, right?
Oh, yes, of course I am.
Right.
Hello, little one. Oh, hello, Irony. Good to see you.
Iron is on top of the fiend issue. We're concerned about your safety based on what it said.
Well, I'm surprised. I've done nothing wrong to deserve this kind of treatment. And he stands up, puts the book down. The ogre is about 10 feet tall. His head brushes the ceiling of this establishment.
Evil creatures delight in hurting good creatures the most.
Is there something someone might want from you?
I've never done a wrong thing in my life. What's all this about?
What's that book you're reading?
Oh, it's just a little off the shelf pleasure reading. It's quite a nice book. It's called The Sum of Theology. Saint Vithira, of course, the all-knowing servant of Ogma, penned it perhaps 100 years ago. But I don't see how that's important right now.
I'm just looking
either.
around the room to see if anybody's looking at him or danger's coming.
Make a perception check.
These rolls, that's a 12.
You see that the room is filled with monks in hooded robes. None of them seems to be, at least from your perception, looking in your direction.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep an eye out.
That is quite an interesting headpiece that you're wearing there, little one. Where did you get it? What is it exactly? I admire it quite a lot.
His hand sort of distractedly moves to his headband, almost as if to make sure it's still there, and says, it's kind of the reason I am who I am. A few years ago, I was like others of my kind. Brutish, cruel, unthinking. I met a halfling wearing this headband, and sad to say, in my ignorance and folly, I killed him for it.
Sorry, little one, not to... we've only just met. Don't want to get off on the wrong foot, but about 30 seconds ago, you told us you'd never done anything wrong in your life.
Well, that was before my new life. I certainly have atoned for it.
Yes, no, listen, no judgment here, but the thing is, do you think that not everybody might make the distinction that you're making between pre-halfling and post-halfling little one? You know, like they might still blame you for some of the things that you did in your, so to speak, previous life. So that's why you might be in danger.
I mean, I met his family. I have given them everything that I have. I even took my new name, Little One, to honor him.
I'm not putting you on trial, little one. That's fair enough. But it could be that somebody hasn't forgiven you, you know?
Question, little one. Is that headband permanently attached to you, or can it be taken off?
Oh, no, it's not permanently attached, but it is the reason why I speak and think the way that I do now. I would prefer not to take it off unless, of course, someone were to take it from me, as without it would be an unthinking brute.
Okay, I see a possible future here.
That's bad.
Yeah, I feel like this would be a good tactic for somebody who is trying to hurt this ogre or lots of other people in the process.
Someone may also value this headband and wish to benefit from its power.
Exactly. Yes.
So listen, I don't mean to alarm you unnecessarily, little one, because maybe this is all bullshit, but we're sort of concerned that it's not. So
as you say that, like Irony just like puts a hand to his lips, like, oh, whoa.
Language.
Sorry, Irony. Maybe this is all balderdash, but that's a Baldur's Gate expression. But I'm wondering, just to be on the safe side, if you wouldn't mind if we sort of, spent the evening with you here in the Hearth. We can talk theology or whatever. I gesture towards the book, just to make sure that nothing happens to you.
Well, I guess that would be a way of protecting myself against any kind of nefarious deed.
Settled. Barman, drinks on me.
You look over towards the counter. There's not a barman, actually. There's a woman, and she's cleaning the bar, and she looks over in your direction. Lady over here, hello.
Sorry, miss. Round of ales for my friends, whiskey for me, please.
Of course, yes, certainly. And starts pouring glasses full of ale and whiskey. I guess we could sit and talk, perhaps, if you'd like.
Yeah, that's great, little one. I just want to take a look around, see if anyone else is paying attention to the conversation.
Yeah, can we all...
I was going to say Corbin's doing
Hylan
that
has
too.
made a perception check. You all can follow suit.
God, I sure don't see anything with a 2.
Corbin is guiding himself.
Renascence, you could give me guidance.
I will guide Ofelia.
Yes.
I feel guided by the light. I didn't even need it.
What'd you get?
So that's a 22, but indeed, with the extra guidance, it is a 25.
Wow, very nice.
Corbin rolled a 22.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's
look at
crazy.
us.
Corbin and Ofelia.
We truly were guided by the light.
Eagle eyes, absolutely. Even with your amazing perception, you do not see anyone trying to sneak up on you or any kind of eyes in your direction. No untoward, strange attitude towards anybody from anyone.
I knew it. The imp was bullshit. Balderdash.
No. What is he drinking, little one?
The barmaid comes over to table and delivers your drinks.
Mm-hmm. Does it look like she is doing this in any sort of selective manner, like the one that she puts Is she like, I'm trying to check
No,
and
she
see
puts
if
the tray
this beer's
down in the middle.
poisoned.
She puts the tray down
Okay.
in the middle of the table.
Probably they're not poisoned unless they're all poisoned. I don't know if it makes sense. Would this sort of prophecy be broken if we were to leave the bar? Didn't he say he would get hurt in the bar?
I believe so.
Yes, that's what that creature did say.
Oh, let's take a constitutional.
Yeah, how about it, little one?
Yeah, come on, little one. Little postprandial walk around the courtyard.
Are we just going to leave the drinks here? I mean, that's fine. Did anybody pay for these things?
Yes, I'll pay for everything. I just dump 2 gold coins on the bar. Come on, we've got to take a walk.
You all get up. Little one stands up.
That's right, and we're walking.
You're walking. You're walking.
And we're
Corbin goes
walking.
last and watches our backs.
I'll go first, just to make sure nothing's going to drop on you when you step out this door. I will go out the door first.
You walk towards the door.
Oh, boy.
And that is when you hear and an arrow flies from the crossbow that was hidden behind the bar by the bartender.
Ah, I knew she was sneaky.
Bartender!
The arrow flies across the room with advantage at little one.
Son of a bartender.
Don't do it, dude.
Can I catch it in mid?
And rolls an 18.
Was the bartender a halfling?
No, she was a human. The arrow streaks through the air and sinks into little one's back. He screams, "Ah! Ow!" And 2 other individuals sitting at tables in the back throw off their purple robes. You see that they wield vicious-looking rapiers with strange insignias on their hilts, and they rush to attack you.
Thanks for listening. This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon, with Tal Aviezer as Renascence, Carolyn Fox as Hylan, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Andy Cannistra, as Painbearer Corbin Shiv. This episode was edited by Carolyn Fox and Tal Aviezer. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso. Some sound effects in this episode are courtesy of Syrinscape. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode.
She sighs and her shoulders slump and she says, "Fine." Oh, sorry. Hold on.
That was pretty funny sound, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I thought someone was making tea.
I
Your
also
tea's ready.
thought it was a kettle.
My phone is going. Oh, hold on for 1 second, folks.
Hello.
I thought she was just going to say, it was aliens.
Ancient aliens.
Perfect.